week 12 of Bubble Club. I'm glad you could join us. This week, we're taking a look at the story of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus in the Bible. Then for our craft of the week, we'll be making paper windmills. Stick around. Let's get into the story. Lazarus was a friend of Jesus. Mary and Martha, his sisters, sent Jesus a message one day. It said,
"Lord, your friend Lazarus, our brother, is sick."
Jesus didn't go to Lazarus right away. He said, "This sickness will not end in death. It will be for the glory of God." And Jesus stayed where he was for 2 more days before he did anything. At the end of the 2 days, Jesus said, "Let's go to Judea." The disciples worried. "But Jesus, the Jews tried to stone you, and you're gonna go back to the same place?" Jesus told them, "Well, Lazarus is dead, and for your sakes, disciples, I'm glad that I wasn't there. This way, now you can see and believe. Let's go to him now." By the time Jesus had arrived, Lazarus' body had been in the tomb for 4 days. When Martha heard that Jesus was approaching, she went out and met him, but Mary stayed home. Martha said to Jesus,
"Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died."
"Martha, your brother will rise again. I am the resurrection and the life. Everyone who believes in me will never die, ever. Do you believe this, Martha?" Martha replied,
"I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God."
Then, later, when Mary saw Jesus, she fell at his feet and wept. She also said to him,
"Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died."
When Jesus saw Mary crying, he was moved in his spirit, and he also cried with her. The people around could see how much Jesus loved this family. Jesus went to the tomb where Lazarus' body had been buried, and he commanded that the stone in front of the tomb be taken away. He lifted his eyes up and he prayed. Then Jesus shouted, "Hey, Lazarus, come on out, man." Lazarus walked out of the tomb, still wrapped in his grave clothes. And Jesus said, "Get rid of those grave clothes and let him go." In our lessons, we've been talking about how important it is for all of us to show love to others. In our story today, we have some great examples of that. First, Mary and Martha show love and care for their brother Lazarus, who is very sick. They sent word to Jesus, trusting that he could heal Lazarus. Then we see Jesus show love by not just going to Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, but also by crying and grieving with Mary and Martha. When our friends and family are sad, it's important for us to show that we care for them by listening to them and acknowledging their feelings. And Jesus does this. In this story, we find the shortest verse in the entire Bible. Jesus wept. John 11, verse 35. It's only 2 words long, but it says so much more than that when you look at it in the story. Jesus shows love, care, compassion, and also sadness himself in these 2 words. By crying with Mary and Martha, he tells them it's okay to cry for the ones that we love. After all, Lazarus was a great friend to Jesus too. And the fact that Jesus does this, even though he knows he's going to raise Lazarus back to life anyway, shows us that it's important to care for others enough to cry and be sad with them sometimes. Lastly, Jesus raises Lazarus back to life after he had been dead for 4 days. That's pretty incredible. Although Lazarus would have died again much later, as someone who loves and follows Jesus, he, just like us, can have the hope of returning to life in a permanent way and living with Jesus forever after our time here on earth. So let's try to show love to those around us in all these ways that we see in this story. For our craft this week, we're going to make paper windmills to get us in the mood for spring. Am I right? Here's what you'll need. A glue stick, some scissors, 1 straw, some cardstock, and this. This is a thumbtack stuck into the eraser from a pencil. You'll find that in your kit. First, choose which colors you're going to use of paper. I'm using yellow and red. They're already cut into a square, but we need to fold them in half and cut them each into triangles. So to do that, fold one corner to the opposite corner. Should be folded like that, and then cut down the crease. Do the same for your other color. You should have 2 triangles of each color. Set those off to the side. Pick another color that you want to use, or I'm just going to use the same color of yellow. And you're going to make 2 circles. So a trick we've done in the past is folding the paper in half and then drawing a circle on one side. So I have a circle drawn on one side, and when I cut it out, since it's folded in half, it should make 2 circles. There we go. Next, take your glue stick. You can also use white glue for this, and cover one of your circles all the way around with it. And set that on your table. And take each of your triangles, and the middle point here is going to stick to that circle. So when I stick it in, I want to make sure to leave room for the other 3 triangles. So the first one goes like that. Take the opposite color of triangle and match it up so the inside point is connected to the other one, just like that. And then alternating colors go around with all of your triangles. And when they're all glued on, they should make a square. Here's what the back looks like. Make sure that's stuck completely before you move on. Then take your glue again and put a bit of glue on the corner of one of your triangles. So I put it on the yellow corner here. And I'm going to fold that in and fold it so that the point touches the inside center point of your square. Hold it down, and if you want, you can even make a crease here. That's okay. And hold it until it sticks. With this kind of paper, it might take a while to stick. And do the same for this corner on each of your triangles. By the end, you should have something that looks like this. Then take the second circle you cut out, put some glue on it, and stick that on the front sides. Then it should look like this. For the next part, you might want to get a parent to help you. Take your thumbtack with the little eraser end on it, carefully take the eraser off, and set it off to the side without losing it, because it's small. Then, with a parent's help, take the thumbtack and stick it through the very middle of the circle from the front side. Be sure not to poke your fingers on the other side when it comes through. Once it's through, you can set it upside down and grab your straw. Again, very carefully, make the tack go through the straw. You can flatten the straw a little bit to make it easier. Then, stick your eraser carefully on the back side of the tack. This will stop it from poking you when you don't mean to. When you do this, make sure there's a little bit of a gap between the paper and the straw. This will give it enough room to spin. We're almost done. To make it work a little better, try to open these flaps up a little bit. You can push them with your thumb and make it a little wider. And that way they can catch the wind better. Because if they're folded flat, they're not going to get very much wind in there. And there you have it, a paper windmill. Thanks for joining us for Bubble Club this week, everyone. Enjoy making your windmills, and I'll see you all on Zoom. See ya!